Hello, Norman Hill with Hill's Light Show. Today we're going to show you the Camaro project and how it was made. A lot of folks have asked how the project was made, so this is what the video is for. It's mainly been made for parades, however it's going to be possibly in front of the house. It has been programmed to match the house for X-Light Show in case it's decided to do that. This is powered by the Colt 16. Originally it was designed to be powered by the battery of the car. But in the process of doing that, I got to thinking about the fact that it's going to spend very little time on the road, mostly in front of the house, plugged into a light show at the house. So I have put a power inverter into it, and I power it that way for the parades. There's several different components to how this thing's made. Starting off with, we're going to show the wire. The wire here is actually going to be the wire used in refrigerating water lines. There's a wire inside of that holds this in shape and stuff when you put it in, so it won't deform from shape. There are several different pieces here I've made that are made for holding the pieces on the car. They're 3D printed pieces. Each one's designed for a different purpose. Here you have a magnet. This is a magnet mount. You have the suction cup mount, different kind of suction cup mount. We have large ones here. Also have some smaller ones down here that mount on the car, little smaller suction cups that hold it in place on the car. The next thing we're going to show you is you have different ones. You have ones that face forward, and then I have ones I'll call the side. The side ones, mostly on the side of the car. These here face toward the crowd, so this was mainly designed for going down the road for a crowd. This part of the car is designed to hold tight and everything. These suction cups here are better than some of the other suction cups. These will be online. I'm going to put this on the Thingiverse so you can see how it's made. If you want the files, you can go to files, get those off the Thingiverse. I'll also show links to the things that I've used to make the car with. We'll go on back down here a little ways to the matrix. The matrix right here, when you have the matrix, you're going to have to make this whatever you want to use for your vehicle. It's actually designed with two different sizes of clips. You have a larger one, there's a small one down here. This is also held on by a suction cup as well as magnets. These are 95-pound magnets. There's 3 of them on top, 3 of them on the bottom, and there's suction cups on this part here. It really comes off easily if needed. You just pull the suction cups back, and you can pull it back from the car, and it'll mount. But you can see that here's the magnets on the car and the suction cups. And then you just put it back in place. It lines up and it stays in place. It's good and sturdy. This one here's a 30 by 15 matrix. It's not designed for anything other than showing a few graphics and text. No pictures, things like that on this car here. The car itself took a long time to make. Several weeks of process of debugging and going through the process of making this project and how to make it work. We're going to also go inside a little bit and show you in detail how each one of these things are assembled and made, so it may help you whenever you decide if you want to make a project like this. You can alter these to fit your vehicle, and hopefully it'll give somebody a little inspiration for their car for a parade. We're inside now, and I'm going to show you the different components that go with the 3D printer. You're going to have the side mounts. You have just the side mount that does not have any connection to the car other than just mounting it to the tubing. You have a side mount that has a small hole. You have one that's got a medium hole, one that's got a large hole. You have the side mount that's going to have a magnet, and a side mount that has what I call a slide, which is another suction cup type mounting. This one here is better than these here. These have had some problems, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. This one here is the side mount. You have what I call a front, because when it attaches to it faces the front. The pixel faces the front of the car. This one here is going to be a slide mount, and this one here is going to be a magnet mount. You also have the small, medium, large holes in these mounts here. Starting off with, we're going to go ahead and show you how this is made. This one here, this tubing here is going to be a tubing that is used for refrigerators and the water line. That's what this is for. We take the tubing, and this one here is a wire that I bought. These wire, I've said it before in other videos, but I bought this wire. It's a 1/4 mile long wire. It's a electric fence wire. I bought it at Tractor Supply. The wire I've used for 3 or 4 years now. I just use it for anything and everything. I put the wire inside of the tube, and it slides through the full length of the tube, and each one's cut individually to the car, whichever area I'm working on. And then I use the tube And whenever I make the tube with the wire in it, and now I can bend it and shape the wire to whatever shape I need to make on the car, and it stays in place. That's why the wire is inside for, is to hold it in place. So that's your tubing for your car. On these here, we're going to start off with the magnet. These magnets here, I'm going to show all this stuff. It'll be linked to all the different ones I have. This is a magnet that I use, and it just mounts in the hole here. I have a screw that goes in the top. Then you just mount it in place. Now you have a magnet. And it's a decent magnet. It's got, I think, like a 7 or 8 pound force on it, which is enough when you put enough of them on the car. I put one about every 3 or 4 lights. I'll put these in place. Either the magnet or the suction cups will go in place. Next thing I'm going to do is going to be the small and medium hose. Small and medium hose suction cups have pretty much held up okay. I've had one small one fail. The large ones, the large holes, I've had 3 or 4 of those fail out of the ones I had on the car, which is not, I guess, a bad failure rate, but that's what I had on those. The other cups, these ones here that slide in sideways, I've had no failures on those. But this works here is there's a hole that's in your side of it, and the hole lines up with the hole on your suction cup. You line it up, slide it in so they line up, and push it in. Once it's pushed in, you take your wire again, same wire I've used before, and you just run it through the hole to the other side. I'll bend this side just a little bit at a 90-degree angle, bring it back, look where it goes there, just a little bit, cut it off, make sure they're about the same, make a little bend on it, then I just bend the rest of the way down with pliers. It mounts down in place. That's my suction cup, which will mount in place. The slide one's a little more difficult. Back to this here. On the ones that are large, the large suction cups like these here, I actually take them and I'll fill the inside of the hole with hot glue. I'll wrap it with a piece of tape, put hot glue inside of it, and then fill it solid and everything. I'll put it back in here. Then I have to drill a hole through. On these here, you drill a hole through it. Whenever you mount it in, you'll mount it in place. Once it's in place, you got to drill a hole. So we grab our drill bit and our drill. The drill bit's going to be about the same size as the diameter, maybe a little bit larger than the actual wire itself. I line it up with the hole. Kind of gives you a guide when you do it this way. You'll drill a hole through it. And the same process as before. You run your wire through. Make a slight bend. Bring it back so it's tight. Cut off some excess over here. Make a slight bend. And I'll just tighten it down with a pair of pliers. And it's done. These suction cups here are actually made to hold bird feeders on windows. It holds real tight. It holds good on the car. It doesn't matter whether you're using the side mount or the front mount on it. Either one of these will work great. As you can see here, this one here is the side mount it mounts through. It's the same way. That's how I made the pieces for the car. These are 3D printed. All this will be available on Thingiverse, and you can alter those as needed for your car.